Welcome to the Random Thoughts Podcast. Today I have with me stand-up comedian Kiry Shabazz, a good friend of mine who actually just won the Standup NBC Competition last year, made his first appearance on Jimmy Fallon, and also just recorded something for Comedy Central. So super proud of this dude. He's one of those comics that we all always come back in the room to watch. Dude's a monster with material, just riffing on stage. And seeing this guy just tear up rooms all over the place, man. So glad to have him finally on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Kiry Shabazz.
I was trying to be amped.
Okay, so if this was...
Yeah, if I was promoting the Crust Theater again, I would do it.
So you want me to get a real intro?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to just go. That's what I'm saying. It's a test. I don't know how it's going to be. I'm going to just fuck around.
I don't expect anything.
Me either. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know.
I just expect it to be a normal conversation, man. But here's this. I already know you got you. I got you. I know you're on your. You know what I mean. You're gonna be on editing stuff out in your head. I'm not gonna get the real. You know what I mean. You're gonna get whatever fake ass image you're trying to portray. So that's what I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
Is it all right?
I think every open micer is unique in their own way. The challenge of doing new materials that. Yeah, of course.
Why is he just reading stuff off a notebook?
Yeah.
All right, welcome to the Random Thoughts Podcast. Today I got with me stand-up comedian Kiry Shabazz, winner of the NBC stand-up competition, was just on Fallon and just dropped another clip from Comedy Central.
Yo, what's up? It's good to be in this bitch, man. How y'all doing?
What? You already
Sacramento
said bitch.
Stand up.
You dropped bitch on the radio. If that was radio, that it was 102. Oh, you're thinking Breakfast Club. You're thinking Breakfast Club. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to be more radio friendly and excited, you know. So
okay, we got Charlemagne. Who are the people on it?
Angela Yee, DJ,
Angela Yee, yeah, DJ. Oh, DJ Envy today.
Sacramento, we in this. Hey, look, I want all y'all to pull out your phones right now. Follow me on IG at KyryBoz.com. Yo, we popping like one of the hottest comedians coming out of Sacramento. You feel me? So like, follow me on IG, man. Like, we got funny clips. We doing skits now, bruh. You gotta check it out, man. Like, we just do these funny Instagram videos and shit where we just like all get together and stuff.
Original
and, like,
content.
Original content, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just funny videos. We trying to do it all, man. We trying to take over. Because, see, what Kiry Shabazz is a brand. You know what I mean?
Now, when you say we, you're talking about your team.
My team.
Okay.
Because you gotta have. You don't have a team yet?
No, I'm trying to put together a team. But when you refer to we, I just want to make sure that you're talking about your team that you got.
Definitely, man. My team, man. We got everything, so we're gonna be doing. Because I don't like to look at myself as a stand-up comic. I'm a stand-up comic, an actor, an influencer, a producer. You know what I mean? Like, it's more of a mogul brand. So like, we're trying to expand past comedy because like so many people focus on stand-up, and I'm like, well, what do you do other than stand-up? You know what I mean? And that's what Kiry Shabazz is. It's that brand.
So you want to be in front of the camera and behind the camera?
Definitely. I'm directing a project right now. Hey, actually, you know what?
You already told them to pull out the phone, which they would be listening to this probably on their phone. So, but yeah. So they already got it out. But you said pull it out. So
right. And I brought a clip in for you to kind of check out afterwards and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, not going to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch that shit.
Check out, man. Yeah, but it's just like, I'm trying to expand. See, that's the shit you got to do if you want to make it as business. That's how people talk for real.
You said we. You're talking in the fourth person.
That's
I don't even know.
People do though. And they refer to themselves as brands. I can't.
Listen, man. This is our year. We're taking over. You know, we got everyone. We're really focused, and it's about the movement. And I want people to support the movement. It's all about the movement.
It's about the movement, man. You know what I mean? Like putting something positive out there for the kids. You know what I mean? Like a real positive message. We want people to watch the stuff and feel inspired. You know what I mean? And like that's the goal.
I'm trying to touch people out there, and I would do this. I'd do it for free. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You would do it for free. And,
absolutely.
But if I asked you if you could headline a room for free, I'm not sure you would do it. You know what I'm saying? Not at this.
I would do it for free, but there's legalities to it.
Right.
To where I can't.
So you have to take the check.
Every time I book a club, I get into an argument with the owners because I'm like, yo, don't pay me. But they're like, we have to pay you. You know what I mean?
So it hurts you to take the check.
It does, because I didn't get into comedy for the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like taking that money is compromising something for my art.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like,
and he's flashing a wad of money in front of me right now. It's not, but it's not about that. It's not about the $3,000 in my hand.
It's not.
I'm the same. If I put this down, I'm the same person. I'm the same person if I set that on the table.
It's we're get to the point to where if we really do become successful, we're really gonna talk and think like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think it comes to a point to where you psych yourself into thinking that shit is real. Like, you know, like that Steve Harvey and Monique shit. Did you watch that clip?
Nuh-uh. Oh wait, no. I saw yeah when they were kind of talking. Yeah, I only saw the short clip when they were talking to each other.
Yeah, like you could tell like Steve lost his ability to relate. You know what I mean? Like somehow he's convinced himself
that he was saying that they have like a responsibility.
Yeah, it's a money game.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't say that. People can't relate to that. Like you still have to pretend to
he was saying don't have morals like that and just take the money so you can help other people after you get the money. That seems like his message,
shit.
right?
Yeah,
like,
no. That's some shit you got to think and never say. You know what I mean? Like,
he can't say that because Chappelle didn't do that. Chappelle didn't do. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do that.
Exactly. And that's why I think Chappelle is celebrated, because we do look at Chappelle like, here's somebody who put art or integrity before money. You know what I mean? And that's why I think he's held that way. And Steve Harvey would look at you like a sellout. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I shouldn't be saying this.
But let's be clear. Yeah, because
Steve is a good friend of mine, and
I just want
to open her.
I just want to get it on record that you're saying that you're not going to do none of that, and then in 1 month for $30,000, I see you juggling on stage, and that's exactly what I want to see. At what price?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. No, but we all do got a sellout point, but you just don't express it. Like every person who thanks God, like at the BET Awards, doesn't believe in God. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, as they're holding that trophy up and they got 5 chains on with no shirt under.
Yeah, I want to thank God because that's what your fans are gonna relate to and shit. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna be like, oh, God is the real, money is the only God. You know what I mean? Like you don't say stuff like that because everyday people can't relate to it. Just like how Will and Jada got in trouble for saying they're swingers. You know what I mean? Like that's their reality in their world, but the everyday people who look up to them can't relate to that. Like, oh, you guys are so rich. Do you get what I mean in that sense? Like, Steve wasn't supposed to say what he said. That's the funniest thing about that clip.
And he thought that people would get, like, he thought he was right.
Yeah, he thought people
because he's talking to people like that. Now, that's how he probably talks behind closed doors about, like, other rich people.
Yeah,
they would say
and
that.
he lives in the studio audience, so they clap on command. It's not like they're clapping because he made a valid point. They're clapping because somebody got paid to hold up a flashcard that says clap. You know what I mean? So they're clapping with some shit they disagree with. But in his mind, he's always right because someone is being told to clap at everything he says.
So do you like Monique's standpoint on the whole thing?
I don't like the way she went about it at all. I get where she's coming from, but the way she went about it is bad. If somebody made a good point, if I was like, I'm trying to find a way to word this right. Let's use a club that's let's say if there's a venue that we feel is unfair, and I feel like this venue treated me unfairly, and you agree with me on that, right? You might agree that was unfair, but you might not agree with the way I express it. I'm like, fuck that venue. I hope everybody in there get cancer and die. Robert Omoto agrees with me. You're like, no. I agree that venue treated you wrong. I don't think everybody should get cancer and die. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that kind of.
And you just try to. That I thought it was weird. Yeah, she tried to say everyone support me, and like everyone banned Netflix. You know, you're like, no, not everyone's gonna do that.
Like Steve might agree with the fact that she was mistreated, but he didn't agree that Oprah and Lee Daniels should suck her dick. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't saying that. So he can't agree with you publicly now because now you done fucked up. You know what I mean? Do you get what I mean? Like you could agree with somebody, but if they express it wrong, now you got to distance yourself. So what that really was 2 comedians who have lost their way so much and are so out of touch with reality. Like Monique's so far gone out of reality, and Steve is that you had this beautiful nightmare of 2 out of touch people screaming at each other, and it just made you be like, oh shit.
Yeah, I
Both
can't
of
relate to any of those problems.
Yeah, at all.
Dude, that's why I stopped listening to. I haven't liked Jay-Z's albums in a long time because
Yeah.
he just raps about all these brands that I'll never be able to like. I've
Yeah.
never even heard of.
Yeah.
Paintings and stuff
Yeah.
like what are you talking about now? Like you're kind of out of touch.
See, and I kind of dig that though. I kind of dig that, but here's where I get where you come from is that the points he making, I think, are tired. It's like, we get it, y'all got more money than us. Y'all rich. Like, that's the same point with every song and album. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So
Y'all
you're supposed.
rich.
That's it. That's what they're always trying to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all rich. Like, what are you talking about new? So now I think that Jay-Z is trying to go back and talk about more like political activist stuff or more like, invest in your neighborhood and do this. Like, now that kind of rap is interesting, but before it's just like, win a G5. Like, how long did you know Jay-Z had more money than you? Like, forever.
Yeah, since he was
exactly.
Since he
Like, why
was
are you
15
still-
when he
yeah.
was rapping, 16.
Yeah, don't rub it in our face for 20 years. Like, don't no one hear that shit. You know what I mean? So,
Do you think you get out of touch though when you get that much? Like, could you be funny?
Yes.
Could you be funny in a mansion?
no,
Like
listen, you lose
30 million and you're walking around a mansion in flip flops and a robe. Like,
There's
could
no way. There's no way. Ellen, that's why I like. Did you watch Ellen's special?
I haven't
That's
seen
what
it.
I loved about it. Her whole thing was like trying to find that relatable thing. And so she's talking about living in this big mansion. And she opened with a bit like she lives in this big mansion. She has this big fancy bathroom. But when she steps on that mat, she has to scoot across the room. And she's saying that's her relatable link. So no matter how big your bathroom is, how small it is, we all do this one thing with the bathroom mat.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's trying to find these relatable pieces between her life to, somebody's everyday life. And I think that's the struggle when you become rich. Like, I think that's why you suffer. It's like you can't. And think about your reality now. Everyone says yes to you. You have access to everything. You don't trust the people around you. You don't have connections. You know what I mean? Like, you're not arguing with the lady at Starbucks. So
Would you
you're
feel
not-
like everyone wants something from you too?
Fuck yeah. You're paranoid.
I think that makes so the paranoia would be real for me because I would be like, I think they want something, and they do probably.
Yeah.
But then you get burned a couple times, and then you think everyone's out to get you.
You think everyone's out to get you. You're trying to stay rich. You just lose touch, man. You're surrounded by yes people. You just don't have that every show you do. Imagine what easy laughs those people get at that level.
Oh, especially when you have your own fan base.
Fuck yeah. You're not working for that laughs. It's not like you had Tommy T's with, 150 people who don't give a fuck about you or like your brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're trying to win them over.
They actually don't want to see you.
Yeah,
They
you're
don't.
doing shows for people who would love for you to just quote your movie quotes. For an hour, you get paid damn near $1 million to do it. You're not relatable. You're gone. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why I think Chappelle was smart. He went away. You know what I mean? He was living on a farm in Ohio. He still had everyday life. He was blacklisted, so he didn't have that, you know what I mean, like access to Hollywood, so he was able to stay somewhat relatable. You know what I mean? And
That's a huge gap. I mean, I'm sure he didn't know how that was going to turn out in the end. He ended up getting it back, but
Yeah.
he probably just in his head like, I trust my
it's
talent.
over. Yeah.
But I think you maybe just like I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I can't fathom that you'd be able to think you'd be able to make that much money again, get that offer.
No, not 50 mil. Yeah.
So you might think in your head, but if you just trust you're like, oh, you know what, I did the right thing. I'll trust it. But that's still, I can't imagine. That's why so many people respect it. Yeah. Most people wouldn't do that.
Most people wouldn't. And I think what he was sacrificing was that his stand-up was suffering. Because remember, there was a story, he came to Sacramento and people was quoting, "I'm rich, bitch," and they were like screaming all his Chappelle stuff. I think that show got in the way of him. Because when you do that stuff, like you don't have the time to do stand-up as much. Your stand-up suffering. I think Chappelle, at the end of the day, is a stand-up guy. You know what I mean? Like, he loves stand-up comedy. So that show would have took him away from that. Now you're dealing with 50 million, you're dealing with the show, you're in the writing room all day, you're editing, you're promo. You know what I mean? Like, I think his stand-up was suffering, and what he really wanted to do is just be a stand-up. You know what I mean? That's why he turned it away. But that's me, projecting that. And so I think something like that we look up to and we value. That's why Chappelle has the respect he has. Because he put morals over money. And then you got Steve saying, fuck morals. Yeah,
get the money and then you can help the people.
Yeah.
Let me climb to the top of this mountain and then I'll give you a hand.
But you get me like, that's something like insiders know. But if you think about like a politician doesn't believe in what they say, but they know they have to say it to get
elected, yeah.
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 You don't really believe in that shit. You know what I mean? Like, education, our kids are the future. Like, no, fuck the... You know what I mean? Like, but you can't say that out loud. So that's why I feel like with Steve, that was the best thing about that, is that he just completely... Because I hate Steve Harvey. I
would have thought there's a lot of him in your act. I thought...
People say, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
when I first saw you, first time I ever saw you on stage, I was like,
Steve.
that's... You. I thought you toured with him or just like watched him along. Because I was like, that's a... You had the big suit on when I first saw you, and it was...
I was humping the stool.
Yeah.
No, he. I grew up on a street, 111th. He grew up on 112th. So the street next to mine is literally named Steve Harvey.
Is it really?
Yeah, in Cleveland, Ohio. I went to a school that he went to, so my teachers remember him from school. And then Diego sent me a clip of Steve Harvey, and he was talking about like his struggle. And I swear to God, we had like almost identical stories. So I have this fear in my head that I am Steve Harvey. You know what I mean? Like there's few comedians I don't want to be. Steve Harvey, and Paul Mooney, and Wayne Brady. Like, those are my three.
Those are, okay, the extremes of all those ends.
The extremes. Paul Mooney, in the sense, like, I never want to be so racist and racial on stage that it's uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Paul Mooney, I feel like, goes too far.
Yeah, and where you get confused and be like, oh, I'm just telling the truth. Or we're like, no, you're not getting any laughs anymore, dude.
Yeah, like this is hate speech. Yeah, this is like...
I saw he popped in during the Mike Epps weekend, and he made it. He went on stage, and I don't know what his condition is now. I had to help him up on the steps and stuff. But he surprised Mike Epps in the middle of his set, 30 minutes in, and like they gave him the mic, and he just said some like really depressing shit. Like, he didn't say anything funny.
Damn.
The whole time, and then he wouldn't give the mic back. So it was just interesting. Mike Epps was like, go get the mic from him. I'm not grabbing the mic from Paul Mooney. He's going to call me a racist. I don't know what the hell he's going to say right now. But he was just sitting on the stool, these are not good times. Like,
did he think he was doing Mike Epps a favor?
I think he was in like Oakland. He was in town for some reason and was going to say hi to him. But even the guy he came with, his friend, was like, we should probably get him off stage now. Yeah. But he was fine once back in the green room or the office. He was talking fine. But up there, he was a little bit. Yeah. Is this how it would normally be though? When if you get big, then it'd be like, hey, your manager would come up to me like, hey, can you not ask him about?
I think they do.
No, is this how you'll be? You'd be like, hey, can you kind of just ask him maybe about just only ask him about the Sacramento like Joe's Crab Shack, maybe something like that, something like kind of light. Now don't go too far into the comedy room.
They'll have a list of like, these are the questions you can ask.
Yeah, don't ask about no family, no Tonight Show, no. You can talk about the open mics.
This legal case is still pending.
Yeah, that one right here. This is an allegation, so don't go.
People joke about that, but then when you look at like how many people get in trouble for like old tweets, stuff they say on Twitter, it's like that shit really does come back to haunt you. You know what I mean? So I'm always surprised when I see comedians like comics that just randomly splurge shit out on Twitter.
Crazy stuff. Yeah.
And you're like, come on, man. Like, this is like, not like you should even be that paranoid, I think, ahead, but I think a little self-awareness. Like, wasn't there a chick who got SNL and then she, like, got taken off because of some...
Did she tweet some stuff?
Yeah, like she had made some... I forgot her name, but she had made... I don't know if she's still on there, if they really took her off. But she had made like some old racist tweets they had found. Kevin Hart recently with the
It went back to 2008 on those.
Kevin Hart. Yeah, like going that far back. And then even people who were backlashing against Kevin Hart dug up stuff on like Amy Schumer, Tina Fey, and then, Roseanne, of course, getting fired. So people joke about that, man, but it's like we really unfortunately live in a time where everything you say... You know what I mean? Like, could really affect your check or your bag. And so you have two choices. Like, are you what level are you at? Like, at the level we at, can we really speak reckless and talk about what we want to talk about? Or do we strive to get to a level where Chappelle is,
Or do they take a clip like from this in like 5 years and they're like, man, he was talking.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. And I would, unfortunately, I would sell
Release
it.
it,
I would have to release it.
Hey,
You'll see me on the split screen. I'm like, hey, I don't even know the guy like that. He came over. He was rude when he came in.
Yeah.
He didn't take off his shoes. I already knew the dude was like disrespectful, you know? And then I played the clip.
I didn't even ask him about those jokes.
He's like, he's like, hey, I want to make sure I say these misogynistic things. And I was like, maybe we shouldn't. And he's like, whatever, you know, and threatened me. And that's why I'm here today, to talk to you guys. You know what I mean? That's why I took the $30,000.
You know what's fucked up? I could really see you on CNN with a tie and a shirt.
Oh, I'll be holding my baby. I'll be holding my baby in my. He's just like his head is gonna be in the screen, you know, like, and then like he'll kind of like start crying a little bit and like rock him. So then, he's a good father too. He's just a good guy that's just trying to get the truth out. So whatever allegation comes out, then I mean, unless dude, you gotta show me the money and I'll go your way, you know.
No, you gotta let people burn. That's the messed up part now. It's like you gotta let people go down now. You can't associate. You can't attach.
Oh yeah,
if
there's
you
no
don't
like
sell me out. Yeah, I will be upset with you. Like,
there's no
money.
hero. You can't. You can't, especially on something like anything like crazy right now.
Yeah, no,
yeah, you can't hop in and be like, man, he's a good dude. Just you're done. You're done too. You're done.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah, it's over. It's like you just hope that person and you pray they get out.
I wouldn't write.
I mean?
I've seen that stuff online. I'm like, I would not. I'm just not saying nothing.
You can't, man. Like even with like Louis or Aziz, like even if you feel like something ain't like, you know, people went down defending R. Kelly. Like, people went down defending R. Kelly. Like,
did you watch the whole
I didn't.
It's bad.
It is.
It's bad. I watched it, and it's like he's way worse than anything you read.
For real?
Yeah, man.
I was just going off of what was publicly known, and I already hated him. But
he's like, his wife, his ex-wife's on it. Yeah. Like there's people he hella knows are in there saying like,
damn,
close to him are saying stuff, and then the victims are coming out saying like stuff that he used to do. His wife couldn't come downstairs. He'd like make her like knock on the door, and she'd have to like come like check it, like to get anything, water, food.
Is celebrity that powerful though? When at one point, what celebrity will you? Okay, what celebrity is that important to you that you would turn a blind eye to?
None, but for some reason, singers, because they hypnotize you with their voice. So they kept saying stuff like this crazy stuff he was doing, right?
Yeah.
And then they would play a clip of him singing "I Believe I Could Fly," and I forget that
exactly.
It was like hypnotized, and I'm like,
then you wake up in his basement,
he hits that note, and I'm like, damn, this is a good song. I'm not. It was just but
it's like the documentary made you hate him, but also want to buy his music.
Yeah,
like,
dude, that's still not. I was like, I still can't hate that song. But even though, you start hearing about what was happening when he dropped those songs.
Yeah.
And it's like, he had people like locked up in his basement or something like that. Like, and he's dropping "I Believe I Can Fly." Like, there's crazy stuff like that. Yeah, so there's like people like, not chained up, but they're like, they couldn't leave the room and they get like, but like just crazy stuff going on. And it's like during a nice song that you like really liked. He's like,
this one goes out to my mother.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to all the Katrina victims.
Right. So I don't know, man. But that's why I think it's a weird time. That's why just with everything being so like we wouldn't have known about a lot of things, and how anyone can have a voice on Twitter or whatever. Especially going back, like you're saying, the Kevin Hart thing going back 8 years.
Yeah.
Going back. They were posting old Louis clips and stuff that he said on HBO.
I know,
you know?
that, and that's the thing.
I thought that's like,
I wondered. I'm torn between: is this going to make comedy more exciting, or is it going to make it? Is it coming to the end? Because you do look at like, I'm gonna mess up the name. Is it Lenny Bruce or
Lenny Bruce?
Yeah, who's get arrested on stage and stuff. You hear about that and you be like, man, I would have loved to have been in that time, or like to experience that, like radicalness. So I'm wondering, like, are we just in a time where we get to do more radical things and, push those boundaries? Or are we in an era where we wouldn't see the demise of that free speech? You know what I mean? And where do you draw your line? Can you be a rebel? Can you push through it? And I think you can't this early in. I think it takes,
Do you feel that way with? You don't feel any restrictions on material? Do you feel restrictions when you're thinking of stuff like, oh man, I'm not sure how this would come off? And it's a thought, like in your head, you're like, man, I think this is funny.
You know what? No, because I don't naturally write like that. I think I naturally don't write. It's not nothing I'm self-consciously doing. I just the material I tend to write doesn't tend to be. You know what I mean? Like I'm. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I get you. It's not super offensive anyway. Like it doesn't go towards
it's
that.
Never going that far, so I don't have to edit. But there are times, and period, it's something about me, man. My persona. I like telling dark jokes, but when I do, it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, some people just don't work for it. You see people that can tell dark jokes or get away with edgier material, and people are with it. With me, it doesn't work. They're like, wait, what happened to the fat, friendly man?
Yeah, that's
you know
a
what I
weird
mean? Like,
thing when you try to, you're like, oh, I'll throw it in here when they already like me.
Yeah.
I think it looks weirder because, wait, you're this nice dude, and what is
Yeah.
this? What is this joke over here?
I'm not trying to put them on blast or because I know this, it's like TMZ, this podcast. But
Here comes the name, so I'll hit the bell. Give me the
Marcus Pepperell. I think he's a good example to where he's funny, but if the audience finds him too adorable, then he hits that dark material, they feel betrayed. And I feel
it's
like
like
that's
we
when they
just
turn on him,
Yeah.
But if he comes straight out with it, then they're already on board with it. So I feel like some people they feel like can do it darker material, some people can't. It just doesn't work for me.
Isn't that weird? Because you always end up liking the type of stand-up that you can't do sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
just like the person who could just stand up there and just tell their joke straight through.
Because you can't do any douchebag material.
No, it
If
seems
you
true.
say anything about fat women, you're fucked.
Dude, you told me that early on. You told me that I was a couple
Never
months
a fan
in.
of fat women?
You said don't.
Yeah. It never works.
I don't know if I would have ever done it. Maybe not if I was trying to be funny riffing.
Yeah.
But since you told me that, I was like, I'm never doing that.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, it's not even worth the risk versus. He's like, even if it's a big laugh,
Yeah.
the fact that the risk versus reward. He's like, but they're gonna believe you really think that.
Yeah. And especially with you, you wear V-necks, you got sleep tattoo. So if you say it, you're like fat shaming. Me, it's like a goofy, oh, fat bitches die. And they're just like, oh, he's being goof. You know what I mean? But for you, it's I don't know. It's weird, man.
Yeah.
If you say I think it's always with fat women.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that early on. You told Idris he couldn't do that too.
Yeah,
You might believe it.
if you in shape, you can't do it. Fat people sometimes get away with it, but it comes off the wrong way, man. It comes off. I remember there was a comic who was doing a show in Phoenix, Arizona, and we were telling him, do not open this joke, because he ran it by us. And he was like, the joke was this. He was like, there's a lot of pretty women here in Phoenix. Too bad none of them's here in the room tonight. And immediately.
He's called everyone in the room ugly?
Yes. So not only did you offend all the women, you offended all the men who brought their women with them. So you lost the whole room.
This is the host?
No, the guest set.
Oh, guest set?
The guest set, yeah. So the host has been working hard to build momentum for the feature, the headline, inevitably for the show. And you come and you derail the entire show with this joke. So you know what I mean? It's certain stuff people can't get away with. I find that interesting. It's what can you get away with? What can't you? If I go too dark, I can't, but I can make fun of fat women and crippled kids.
Have you gone too far of just riffing?
Yeah.
To where you couldn't get them back?
Yeah. Yeah. I was at the Long Beach Laugh Factory, and there was this magician there, and he was heckling. And he was just one of those hecklers you couldn't shut down. So instead of having finesse and getting the audience on my side, I ripped on him too hard. I'm like, you a failed magician. Your dad doesn't love you. And he's dying of cancer, and he's like, before I die, I want you to do one thing that made me fucking proud, and you couldn't do it because you're a fucking magician in Reno. Like, I went on this whole rant. You know what I mean?
Was this early on in the set?
It was in the middle. And I was already flustered because, like when the jokes aren't working, you start like shaking, like my joke's already bombing. You know what I mean? Like I'm shaking. So he has all the power because I'm not funny. I haven't made people laugh enough to be on my side. And this guy is messing with me, so they're enjoying seeing me lose it more. Like, have you ever seen a comic like handle a heckler and it's just like, shut the fuck up? And
Yeah,
it's
lose
like,
it. Yeah.
It was like to that point. Like I didn't say it like that.
Seeing people get fucking lose it. I love seeing people lose their shit.
That's the best.
Just completely lose control of their emotions on stage.
Because I'm like, what is the strategy? Like, there's no coming back from that. Like, I have the fucking mic. That means you shut up and I talk.
Nobody paid to hear you talk. Shut the fuck up and let me tell my jokes. And
so
then
I
they
was
gotta
walking
go.
my dog. Yeah, it's like no.
They forget that they have to actually go back into their set.
Yeah, and you abandoned your whole
real.
persona you had, this fake ass persona.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're boiling hot red. There's veins popping out of your face, and now you got turned back around. Like, where was I? So my dog.
So I have a Tesla. And
Yeah, it's like
dude,
nah.
fucking maniac.
Who's that angry fuck? Yeah, you just screamed at this man. So it was that situation, but I think I went too far into the riff, to where it just got weird and it get unfunny because I painted this whole picture of like his dad's like last dying wish was for him to make him proud. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's sitting there holding his hand.
Yeah, just like, show me a magic trick. And like, he just couldn't do it. Like, you're a magician in Reno. So I think I went on this whole alternative. Just even now explaining it is too much. That's not how you handle
Was he,
Ripper.
how was he heckling? Was he just like interrupting? Was he interrupting all the comics?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He hadn't been shut down. It got to the point to where it got to the point to where it was like anti-heckling, to where I'm trying to find the perfect phrase for it. Have you ever seen a heckler to where they heckle and it's funny when you shut them down, but then it happens so much that by the time you get on stage, it's no longer funny.
Because the crowd's annoyed with him.
The crowd's annoyed with everything, yeah.
Yeah, because they want to hear, they didn't come to see him, just interaction with him. And even if you're saying something funny, it's about him and they're annoyed with him.
Exactly, yeah. So by the time I got up there, I had lost already. It's already a tough room because it's a beautiful room, man. I love the Laugh Factory.
Well, don't give shouts out to the venue.
No, I'm being for real. No, it's real.
Corporate Kyrie. Here we go. Here, give shouts out to the
exactly,
manager.
yeah.
Here we go.
The Booker's so sweet. It's nice. I mean, the whole
Not a
staff,
better room in the country.
Just exceptional staff and service. I mean, I want to be there now. Matter of fact, let me message them. No, it really is like it's like Tommy T's how that. Okay, think about Cobb's. Cobb's is a beautiful room, large, but if it's light,
like super.
Yeah, it's torture. So that's how that room is. It was a light night. You know what I mean? So I went up there. I tried. I mean, I failed. It was stop and go laughs. Any laugh you got was a quick ha ha and stop. And that heckler just had the advantage. I hadn't won anybody over for them to be like, yeah, we need to hear more of this guy. We might get our money.
We're good.
We might get our money's worth if this guy has a meltdown. It was like that kind of thing. It was like, it might be more entertaining to see this, this man crack and lose it. And I did. I wasn't even in control of you know what I mean? Because you're that. And
but you know what? Part of you will feel like, man, I didn't say nothing. If you got off stage and you didn't say nothing to that dude, you're like, I didn't say nothing to that dude. So that's just like a double-edged sword because you're like, I let that dude just say it and I didn't shut him down.
Because that looks even more, as a comic to me, that looks like you're more socially, slow. Because it's like, you ever see somebody just not address heckler at all and just
That's
go
weird.
straight through?
Yeah, that's
Like,
weird too.
what's wrong with you? Yeah, you're a coward. So it's a weird balancing act of, oh, you gonna let that dude say that? And so usually I know how to finesse it a certain way, but that day I lost my cool. I was trying to make a good impression at the club. I think it was like my second set there. Trying to make a good impression at the club. The first show I did there was amazing. Second show was like, again, I'm bombing, so I'm already in my head. And so I really want this dude to, you know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't shut up. So I need to shut him up, and I just went too far and lost him. So I was like, fuck. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
are you on stage now? Like, what would Steve Harvey do in this situation?
what would Steve Harvey do? Yeah. Yeah, it was that moment to where, yeah, you break and you say stuff. Like, people's like, oh, that's how you really think of. You know what I mean? Like, people in Reno. It was like that kind of thing of like,
Yeah.
Reno with all those fucking losers in Reno. And, like, hey, well, I'm from Reno. Like, it just went too far.
Hey, so you said we're saying that you like the you love New York, right? Especially for stand up and everything.
Man, yeah. The energy in New York feels insane. And I don't know if it's just because, like, it's that first time, you know, that allure you get when you first go to a city, but the energy in New York feels natural. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's the part you'd have always liked, just chilling, hanging out, side mics, going up.
just being a comic. Because,
Yeah.
like, the energy I feel like at the comedy store when you're there is like, and just being a bigger dude too, and like just being uncomfortable in certain spaces, it's just being like, hey, don't stand there, clear the hallway. You guys can't be in there. We need you to move over. You know what I mean? Like that kind of feeling. When I'll go to like the cellar or something, I was expecting that same kind of energy because this is like one of the biggest rooms, you know. And comedy is just like the store that I thought.
Yeah,
they would be
iconic.
like,
Yeah, like,
yeah.
yeah.
I thought they'd be like, oh, you can't be there, you can't be there, and it wasn't that. No one was tripping.
It was just chill.
You just show up and you chill, and just the comics, man. The vibe is different.
Because I feel like when I talk to you, you missed that part of the being anonymous, I guess, of just and just going up and just getting to do new stuff and just going up as much as you can. Because you'd even go to like the rooms if we knew that there might be two people in there.
Yeah,
You just like going to mics.
and not even
getting up.
anonymous parts. I know people still don't know me, but it's like just the interaction with us, like as comics. I feel like one of the biggest trade-offs of being a comic is the fact that you get to interact with other people, you know, who do what you do. So now you gotta think about like, I like joking around, talking shit, you know what I mean, like ball busting, but if I do it now, it could seem like, oh, you're just doing that because you feel like, you know what I mean, like you're on some kind of pedestal or you're trying to bully somebody or you're trying to like, you know, be, it seems more mean. And you got to think of like, people look at you differently, so you might bruise them more, you know what I mean? I loved it when it didn't mean nothing. We was outside the comedy spot, you know what I mean, just smoking cigarettes and, you know, just talking shit. Yeah, as everybody walked up. That was fun. So I think now I try to put myself in these situations to where I want people to be comfortable. You don't have to feel like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like it's tense. Like you should be able to roast me. When I see Rico the Great, that's what I love about it. I walk up on him, he's roasting me immediately. You know what I mean? To me, that feels comfortable instead of having to be like, you know what I mean? Like when a comic asks
Like, what you got coming up? Or like, you know, or it's like some weird,
just some. Or just being able to tell somebody, oh, yeah, your set sucked. It was terrible. It was a piece of shit. It was the worst set I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean?
And plus, you're at a place where you want to try some new shit and everyone's expecting you to deliver some, like, crazy set that maybe you've been working on, that they think you've been working on. You know what I mean?
But the pressure is definitely down in Sacramento because it sounds arrogant, but I feel like in Sac, you're kind of like, here you're proven. So it's like certain guys you see when they bomb, you just know it just wasn't their night. You know what I mean? Like, if I see Sella have a bad set at the comedy spot, I'm not going to be like, oh, he sucks. I'm like, oh, no, that's a funny guy who had a bad set.
Or he's trying out new shit.
He's trying out new stuff. LA, I feel that pressure because I feel like when you perform in LA, a lot of people don't know me that much in LA, so I'm constantly proving myself. So every show I do, I'm doing these old proven jokes. and I don't have a space to do like the new jokes and take risks. But now, you know what I mean? I feel more comfortable taking risk on shows because I know the good ones and, which ones to do. But yeah, I feel that more in LA because I feel like everybody's watching you. And I feel like you get one shot to really be like, because you know those people that form opinions based off one set?
And they'll never watch you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, I seen that dude.
He's not funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I seen
I
that
seen him.
dude.
He sucks. Like, how you know? You only saw me once.
Dude was talking shit to a magician. I walked in, he just
Yeah,
fucking talking
exactly,
shit to a
yeah.
magician. I don't know what
He
the
was at
fuck. He
Long
didn't even
Beach
say a
Laugh
joke,
Factory,
dude.
which is an amazing venue. The food is impeccable.
Look at man, they treat the way that they treat you. It's five
I mean,
stars all the way
it's
around.
phenomenal, yeah. But no, I feel that pressure. But yeah, SAC is like, and it's weird, man, because like, especially with the Tonight Show, because you know me, I'm like a private person, so it was weird. Like, no one knew I was doing it. I didn't tell anybody about it, but literally somebody was just hanging out with the night before, and then you have that video come out, and the next day, that whole relationship now was different. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, we just was cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
why is it that tension now? Shouldn't be. Because I feel like that gets in the way of the creative process.
You feel like it was like tension, or do people kind of like, oh, like in awe, maybe? You know what I mean? Or like kind of see something someone that was just here. That's the thing. Like you were just in this room, and we've heard these jokes, and now it's just over here. You know?
Yeah, but
on
no,
this
'cause
platform.
there's two ways people will act. And I'm going to tell you the two ways. The first one is like, they're either overly friendly or overly like, or they'll play it off like they're just like the cold shoulder. Like, oh, I'm not pressed.
There's nothing. Yeah, okay.
And that's always that bothers me the most is like yo, like we're actually cool. Like, what are you trying to, you know what I mean? Like cold shoulder and, you know.
Maybe in their head too, they think that like, oh, they don't want you to think the other way. Whereas like, oh, if I'm too friendly, he's gonna think I'm just because, you know, now I want something. So maybe I'll be like this, which I think is weird either way. But I'm saying like to give the cold shoulder, maybe they're thinking, I don't want them to think that like I'm all up on them now because of that.
No, but that was the weird thing about it. Was like, because you know me, it's like I'm always at the mic, so it literally is people that you had just seen the day before. You know what I mean? Like nothing changed from that day. You know what I mean? Like I knew about that set months in advance. I've been working on this, so if I was already gonna build up an ego or like front of somebody, I would have been did it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Ooh, you don't even know when April was going down. Like,
by the way, I know you don't want people to know, but I wrote all that stuff for you, and I don't want no credit for it. You paid me off. You already gave me the money for the jokes and everything. I appreciate it. Whatever, you know.
You signed the NDA, so
but
you it up now.
You delivered, man. You delivered on that material.
Your words really, yeah.
And
yeah.
I saw that, and I was back there. I was clapping, man. I saw everyone else laughing, and I'm like, those are your laughs. Those are our laughs.
The jokes.
I'm like, man, I didn't think he's bringing what I wrote pen to paper, and now it's on screen, and it was just that was a moment.
How would you really feel if you like, because Paul Mooney, we talked about Paul Mooney, or like how he wrote for like Pryor. How would you feel if you did write like some jokes with somebody that special became like the funniest special? Like,
yeah,
would you feel
that's right. Like legendary, like a legendary.
Would you feel like no, that's.
How much of it? Like 30%?
Significant amount.
The closer?
All the quotable jokes.
But see, part of you feel like this guy's supposed to be the guy. And it's not like he's not funny.
Yeah.
I don't think I would feel it. It'd be weird if he like never gave me credit, but he gave credit, right? They're even on the credits of the special, I think, right?
Okay, yeah, maybe. Are people reading that though? Or?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Right, but that's weird too because I don't know how many. I think that's why when Neil Brennan and Chappelle for the Chappelle show, they never said like who wrote which stuff because they.
Oh yeah.
When they negotiated or whatever, they want to be able to be like they're needed equally.
Yeah, Neil wrote for a lot of people.
Dude, he's a great writer, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if it was a bunch, I don't know. But if that's what that's what the person wanted me to ask me for help on. then no, I wouldn't feel
Well, no,
that
you
way.
actually did. I did. You actually did write for Lance Wood's roast. I remember I did actually come to you for a few jokes.
Right.
Remember, because you had a joke about Sandu.
I
Was like Sandu's face is Sandu's headshot is the most requested photo at like a shooting range or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But it hit so hard.
It was an applause break.
Yeah, no, it wasn't an applause break, but it was something to the point where like it had hit so hard, and I felt that immediate gratification. But then I felt like,
you can get used to
wait, yeah. I'm like, well, wait, that's kind of not mine.
It's easier this way.
Yeah, no, it felt dirty and good. It felt like, all right, that laugh felt good. Now, how do I discredit and shame Robert to where he never gets credit? You know what I mean?
The only reason I had that is because I was supposed to roast battle him.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I had something. And no, I didn't think that way because I was cool with you, and you had that room was packed. You know what I'm saying? It was sold out, and I'm like,
roasters on there, yeah.
And you asked me, and I'm like, I got something. Because I'm like, dude, I don't want you to fucking fail or like not do well. This is crazy.
Yeah, I think it was
dude.
charity. I think I like, hey, let me run some roast jokes about you.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh man, here, you want to use some of these? Like, I think it was like, nah, them jokes gonna fail.
No, but I didn't feel any. I was like, oh, cool, because I don't know. I was like, I'm probably not gonna be able to roast. I'm never gonna be able to battle him. So I'm like, or probably won't. So I'm like, oh, look cool. At least it got used. But I have given someone a joke in a roast battle when they ended up advancing. Yeah. And then that joke that I had for the person that they faced, because I didn't move on, ended up like winning. And I felt disgusted because I was like, I should have won this whole thing then.
They won with a joke you gave them.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that will feel like...
But your thing wasn't a battle, so I didn't really... It doesn't feel like that, you know?
But it hit, man. I remember. And I think I used the second one, too. But, it felt gratifying and dirty at the same time. It was like...
You got a taste.
Yeah.
But does that, like... I don't know. That's a different context. But if I wrote, like, a joke... Could you? I don't think you would like that, an actual joke as a thought. I think you put a lot of. I think you take pride in the way your mind works, especially for like material.
Yeah, because I don't feel like, because you don't. You have to be a real psychopath. I think if you wrote a joke for you to tell it and then feel satisfied based off somebody, I don't know. I don't want to say that because then. You can't feel good about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's always too. Like, you can't feel unless some people just want the laughs. I think some people really don't mind. They just want the applause and laughs to where we get gratification based off. I got a laugh or a response based off something I thought of and created. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's uniquely mine. Like someone's appreciating your perspective or your take. Where some people just want to get applause.
A reaction.
Yeah. Like, they're the type of people that just, if you walked in a room and just started clapping, they'll just feel good about that. Like, just, psychopaths. Like, just.
That's,
They just want that. Well, you want to be like, nah, I'd rather you hear this joke and like it and really appreciate where I went with it.
No,
the premise,
the adjustments I had to make on it. No, it bombed. No, I remember like it didn't do well, and then it did well. Yeah, I enjoy those moments.
That's a perfect way to put it too. Yeah, that baby step of walking it through and getting into that finish line.
Oh, because like this is why I always say like just go up, especially when you don't feel like it sometimes. Because I remember it was raining, and then we went to Comedy Spot and to Starlight.
Yeah,
and I think I bombed both sets, but then you were like, hey. He's like, dude, that joke worked in both rooms. Yeah, and I didn't even pay attention to it because the set sucked on both. But it ended up being the closer, but the thing that I have now, but you're like, dude, that worked in both rooms. That's a good joke. And the rest of my set, but tanked, and so, but I was in my own head about it, and I'm like, really, did it? And then that ended up being, and that was the day I didn't want to go up. Like it was raining, I think it sucked and everything like that. But that's why I was like, oh shit, you never know when one of your jokes or whatever you find something.
Do you have that now to where it's like, because Because I remember that happened too when I was first started out. Like a older comic or headliner would be like, "That was a good set," and you're like, what the fuck do you mean? But now do you see like somebody can have a bad set? Because I always feel like comedians feel paranoid when they have a bad set, and you say, "Oh, a good set," or you compliment them, and they're like, "Oh, whatever." You just saying that, but you really see something they don't. Do you know what I mean? Like you're seeing something they're not seeing. Like it ain't. It's hard to explain.
Because it may be you liked one of the things they did, or they're delivering it better now.
Yeah. So I think that was that moment too. I was like, oh shit, like that's actually pretty cool. Like that joke had worked like in, like both rooms. And even though everything else was horrific, and extremely uncomfortable to watch, but that moment was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because you've been a couple things that I think that I've always took with me as far as like you would do to make me not do those jokes too, for the same reason I was just talking about. You would do it so I can't use it. And rely on those jokes I couldn't rely on them to get laughs.
A crutch,
yeah. And
at an open mic, yeah.
And I've always took that where I'm like, I'm not doing my best shit at open mics.
Yeah,
no,
because it feels pointless.
Yeah,
and then riffing was like too. Like I stopped trying to riff at open mics because it was like, and sometimes you can't. That's hard too because you do got to exercise that muscle of riffing. And open mics are a good way to do it, but I know you're someone who riffs too. You could riff and then have a fire set and then just feel empty.
Yeah, because I didn't get any of it. I had 5 jokes I wanted to work on and work on any of them.
Didn't work on any of them. I can't use any of this material again, so I'm always like, but now I can have fun at the open mics, man. Could you imagine now if I went to a comedy spot and I did somebody's joke, just to even mess with them, just to be like, oh, I'm gonna throw Ruby off and do her clothes. And she's like, you asshole. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it was fucking hilarious too, because I was like up next and you were just trying to think of all the shit that I could go to after that.
Yeah.
I was like, that was actually funny, it makes you a better comic when you have to just constantly like adjust and not rely on something.
Because you know what it is? Like, that's how real bombs go. Like, a real bomb is when you pull out that best joke and it's gone and it's nothing. And you're like, that was my absolute best.
I'm not going to like this other shit.
Yeah, and I still have 20 minutes. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you do now? You just suffer.
Sip that water.
Just sip that water,
beer. Oh, you guys are crazy,
world.
Man.
Yeah, crazy world.
Shit. Ain't you anyone celebrating anything?
Celebrating? Or do you do the marriage toss? Oh, we got married people in here? How long? 5 years? Oh, that's dope.
You guys ain't gonna clap for that? Give it up for them, man. Who's
anybody
beating that?
Be 5. Well, we got 10 right here. 10.
Hold on, I'm getting off the stage for this. You did, sir? How did you guys meet?
You see that old couple, you relying on them, like, come on, bring it home. Anybody can be 10, 50. It's like 50. So, like, you just find hack way. Like, I love those moments, man.
Because you said that people always just do stuff to make you stronger, right? Like, Winfield used to put his name before you at places, right? And do that stuff
Yeah, man. Like, I hated that shit. Rico would make me follow him at fucking JB's. Like, that's evil. Like, I'm already struggling at JB's as no matter where I go on the list. But now you'll make me follow. You seen Rico close out the show. And they love him. It's like we're just
there to see him.
Yeah. They have to tolerate us to get to the prize of just Rico. So to follow that man at JB's, like, that just makes you tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even following people like Cheryl, I remember I almost shitted on myself having to follow Cheryl. Like, it was at the Punchline. It was packed. You know what I mean? Like, Cheryl just kind of lit it up. So I've always found those moments of following. Even the Crest Theater show, dude, just last year. I knew, like, winning Stand-Up NBC. I hadn't done Fallon yet. Like, I knew I was doing cool shit. So I was like, okay, this is good in theory to have me headline. But I was following Kabir, Ellis, Carlos. These are, whether these people know it or not, these people are solid headliners who I can't yet follow and compete with yet.
Have been headlining for a while too, you know.
Yes, and not even headlining for a while to where they're headlining and they're just losers. These are the best. Like the show stacked. I mean, you literally have who would burn Ellis, Carlos, and Kabezi on one show? You stretch them out, you know what I mean, through a calendar. So I knew going in that show, I'm like, it don't matter who the fuck I would have followed, I'm going to get buried because the first guy's going to bring up that momentum. The second guy is only whoever went second was going to have the best set. And then the third person was only going to bring that wave up higher. And now I got to come and follow that. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how much, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. That show gave me real anxiety.
The whole time, like before it coming up to it.
So, yeah. But I'm like, look, this is a chance to learn. This is a chance to rise up to the occasion.
Because there's no way you would have said no to this, no to it, right?
You can't say no, yeah. You can make him an excuse and try to find a way out. Like, oh, I got up. But then you're missing a golden opportunity to get your ass handed to you by all these headliners you respect.
Right.
And this is a show of the crest. It's on the radio. So all of your family is coming out to see it. All of your friends and family, everybody's excited. And you know you about to get married. And you know Ellis is finna close with, his I Don't F With You song. Or, Carlos is hosting and riffing like a beast. So that challenge, I felt like I wanted that just for the challenge. Sink or swim, I wanted for the challenge. And I felt like I held my own. You
definitely did. We're there.
Yeah, I felt like I held my own, but I definitely felt like, and the show was long.
The format was all off.
The show was long.
It was over 2 hours.
Yeah, but I'm never that weak person. I'm not like a delusional loon, so I'm never gonna just be like, oh yeah, It's like I enjoy those moments of being like, yeah, there's an order to things.
Well, did that feel surreal when you won the NBC thing? Were you like, for real? Or were you like when they told you?
Yeah. It felt surreal because I felt like good things like that don't happen for people like me. Like, I just felt like I just felt like I was one of those comics where like, oh, just stuff like that doesn't happen to you. You're just meant to be funny and watch other people get cool opportunities. Like, I felt the same way with the Tonight Show. Even being selected with Comedy Central, like, they only picked a select group of people in LA. They had plenty of people they could pick from. And when you think of stuff like that, you think like, oh, they're not going to pick me. You know what I mean? Like, so that to me that's the biggest thing. I was like, look, I'm just going to be, I'm a finalist. I get to go do NACA because I was already doing NACA at the time. I was doing
NACA's the college shows.
I was like, this is the win. They'll pay for all my expenses to go out and do NACA. I'll book some colleges, and then I'll just probably either move back to the East or, just kind of refigure out a game plan for next year. So that's how I legitimately felt. You know what I mean? I felt like.
Were you almost thinking about not even trying to do the NBC too that year?
I did because with Standup NBC, you get industry invites, and that's what I felt like, and I'm air quoting it. That's where the cool kids will go. Is the industry invites. I didn't have an industry invite, so my ego at the time felt embarrassed.
Industry invite, so you don't have to wait in the line.
Yeah,
there's a line. It's almost kind of like American Idol type. They're like line right outside, and then but these people with the industry invites get to just come, skip the line, and these people we want to see you.
Yeah, you get invited there. You get to go do a 2-minute audition. So all the comedians I met from like festivals or showcasing with Comedy Central, and just going down the LA at the time, they all had went straight to the industry invites, and I had I thought at that time that I deserved an industry invite, that I deserved it. Everybody who was anybody was getting invited. So for me to be in a line with camping outside with. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying
anybody can be in line.
Anybody, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be outside, I felt like that was a blow to my ego. And then I was sitting at home like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this is what, you're homeless, you're at your brother's house, he's letting you crash in your nephew's Spider-Man room. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. On his little fucking little infant bed. You know what I mean? Like, surrounded by, toddler books. And he's like, hey, you got to be out here in the morning. It's like you're going through all of this shit to pursue stand-up. And you can't get over your little fucking ego and go to SF and go to open all day. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this is what you're starving for. This is what you're... Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you turn down an opportunity? It's there. So I had to get over my ego, man, and go do it, and I don't regret it. And even then, I still was, like, doubting myself. I'm like, all right, I'll make it to the semifinals, and then next year I'll get that industry invite, and then go to the finals. And that was my plan. Semifinals that year, and then finals next year. And then lose.
And then, so once you kept moving forward, you were like, oh shit, I have a shot, or I'm here now. Actually, I'm in the final now.
I'm like, I'm dying. I have cancer. This is the end of my life. You get suspicious when things go too well. You like, oh shit.
Oh, this is about to be something bad, something way bad about to happen.
I'm about to get by a bus.
Like someone's gonna die that I know.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm about to lose a loved one. It just felt like I don't know, but it felt good though, man. It was weird. It was like just the first time I felt like real happiness or joy, which was strange. You know what I mean? Like, it really was that moment because they seduce you and make you want. Like, the biggest thing people don't understand, and I hope I'm not sounding pretentious or condescending, but like, the level in which they expose you to so fast. It's like, it makes you want that shit so bad. They put you up in the nicest hotels. They feed you. You know what I mean? Like, you get access to all this industry shit. Like, it's just like the wildest. You know what I mean?
They
like,
opened up some like doors, and you're like, hey, look back here.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. You're like, what the hell? I didn't know all that.
Like, you really peeking in. Like, so it's, and they treat you so well. It's like, we're used to having to be like, you just feel
slice
like
a pizza for go.
Yeah.
You get the
Here go two drink tickets.
two drink tickets and 2 slices of pizza for the 5 of you.
Exactly. Yeah, you're used to that, but for them to be like, "Damn, hey, this is your value, this is your worth, and this is what we're gonna do for you." It's like, it's you like you want that shit. It makes you crave it. So I see now how like celebrities when they get to that point of like millionaire and like there was a story about Johnny Depp when he was losing his money. He was used to flying in private jets and all that kind of stuff. For him to go back,
he can't.
You can't. Yeah, you want to blow. It. Yeah, you can't go back. I can never. I deal with having to go back, and just the struggle now is frightening. And that's what now I'm at the point where I want to get back to that. Now I want to get back to that. Okay, well, who was that Kyrie where you had a one-way ticket, you had barely enough to eat, you had $5 in your pocket, and you went out and you performed with that mentality where it all mattered. Now it's like you're traveling, the hotel's booked. It's nice.
You're saying that as you're sitting in the hot tub in the robe.
Exactly.
You're trying to give yourself that
hot
speech.
Tub. Yeah. You're like, man, you got to feel the hunger again. Yeah. A room service. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just these decadent desserts. So it's like, I'm trying to get back to that, but it's also like...
You got that Hilton robe on, trying to give yourself that speech in the mirror. I want that old Kyrie, man.
Room service, ding. It can never happen, man. It's like freezing at like a Greyhound bus station, and now you're in a fucking, nice Renault, heat blasting, you know what I mean? Like, everything paid for. So now I do feel that, like, fuck, I'm becoming,
Well, you know what, though? Because it's probably at each level or whatever, you find different motivation. You know,
true.
So your motivation originally, you just wanted some validation.
Yeah.
And then you get that, and then it's like, oh, I can actually make a living off this. This is actually not like a pipe dream. I can actually do something with this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you don't want to let that go because you know what the alternative was going back to the thing. So
like it's so, and just that level of like professionalism, like could you imagine like having to call your agent and having to cancel showing like why? You're like, my Greyhound's late. You know what I mean? Like what? Like the fuck?
He said, yeah, I'm sitting out here. It's I
It
got my
just didn't
luggage.
show up.
It's just not here.
Like no one gets when you're that poor and fucked up. No one understands your reality.
There's some dudes shooting dice next to me, but they don't know when the bus is coming either.
They're emailing the students like, "Hey, if you want to contact Kiry, here's his cell, and your phone's off." You know what I mean? They're like, "We're trying to contact him," and
said at Metro PCS. His Metro's up. He's got a Metro.
Dude, I had a Wi-Fi number, and it was the worst because I would literally have to like be at a Starbucks or like be near a closed McDonald's. You know what I mean? To use a Wi-Fi phone. But yeah, having to explain to people like, hey, can you call me at exactly 12:05?
He said, you're going to call at 12 because I'm going to be catch the bus.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll transfer.
I'll be near Wi-Fi at 12:05. If you don't call me at 12:05, I won't be in range of Wi-Fi and you won't hear from me for 2 days. Just those poor ass levels of excuses, like it feels bad. So now I do enjoy the fact of like you can just be fully professional, represent yourself in the best way.
Dude, those are better stories than someone who just gets everything handed to him. Nobody wants to hear that story.
Yeah, true. I mean, no one wants to hear them, but you want to live them.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. That's not a good way to like live, or that way sucked, you know? But it does create some sort of hunger or drive that I don't think other people don't have.
Yeah. And I think somewhere along the way you could lose that. So I think if you find a way to just remember that hunger and struggle, and that's why, again, even going back, and I'm jumping all over, but even going back to, that's why I always value Sacramento being like, this has to be home. Whatever I have to do to aggressively make this home and to make this comfortable, I can't feel uncomfortable. I don't give a fuck if I make it and win 3 Oscars and 9 Grammys. When I come to a mic, it has to feel like home because this is where I create. You know what I mean? Like, you can't pollute. Do you know what I mean? Like, once you create that creative process and you lose that, you're going to lose that, you know. I don't ever want to.
Do you feel a sense of relief when you get back here?
Absolutely, man. Because you around people who know you, like, you could breathe. You could say some shit to somebody, they know you're not trying to big dog them.
Yeah.
In LA, you really can't just be like, oh, you know, you gotta it's that happy fake.
That sucks because like that's the part that you like fucking with people.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the best thing to do.
I can imagine that. Hey, I love fucking with people, man. So I was like, that would suck if you're just having to like, oh yeah, so you know what's going on? What's the NACA submission or you know?
Hey,
just
that's
industry
cool.
talk.
Yeah, oh, that's nice. You can't do that. And then you're dealing with, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't want people who complain about LA because I have found myself, you know, drinking the Kool-Aid a bit and becoming one of those people, you know what I mean? Of like, oh, okay.
We already gave shouts out to Long Beach Laugh Factory. I mean, a couple establishments and we're getting shouts out.
Right.
You know,
or just even natural stuff too. Like, you talk to somebody and it's like, they're like, oh, okay, who are you rep with? They're like, oh, I'm not rep with anybody. And your whole face just changed.
Wow, this guy's not taking it seriously.
Yeah, you're looking for like, let me find another.
Why am I talking to you?
Yeah, why are you?
I have a script in my back pocket.
Right, like,
how can you help me?
You can't, like, but and you don't feel that really, but you catch it, like, you know, because you're around an environment.
That's fun. You know what I was thinking about? Like, these are like conversations we used to make fun of.
Yeah,
like,
but now it's a reality. Yeah.
For you, no, it's here.
No, even for you. Look how far you come. People, it's weird how many people look up to you. That's not like they should. That's how fucked up. Like, it's strange how many people value you. But no, here like comics, like I'll ask them like, oh yeah, who do you really like in the scene, or who's really like, oh, Robert Omoto, and it's weird because like we all come in to like we come in and we look up to people, and then soon it's like you're the one that people start looking at. Like,
well, a lot of you guys all left at the same time, man. Like,
yeah, true.
And it was like, that's why I'm glad I started when I did, because I got to see a level that I don't even like. I hope it will get replicated, but I'm not sure if it will get replicated like that, to where you have a bunch of people getting stuff at the same time, and just that level. That's why I was telling Cheryl. I was like, yeah, I got like what my level of like what I saw someone having a good set is like what you, Winfield were doing, Kiry, JR popping in, Lance, and I'm like, that's what a good set was. That's why I was like, oh, that's good.
Because it went from now when you perform, you feel like people come in to watch you perform. Do you feel that now when you're on stage? Like if you had a mic, people will come in to watch your set.
Sometimes I think they want to see me riff, and I'm like, I don't want to do that shit right now.
But did it ever get to a point where you felt uncomfortable, like you felt like if you can't bomb or?
You know what? Because I always think like that if I know there's new comics that I always talk to, then I'm like, okay, well then let me set like a good example as far as like I'm gonna keep coming to mics with new stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be at more mics than they're doing. Because I was like, they are at this mic and they're gonna go home, so let me be at like another mic, and they're like, what? You're at this mic, and I always liked seeing people's work ethic and seeing like Fury would be like all the mics with new stuff, that little note paper in his pen, and I love seeing that, and I was like, I've just always been, I always liked the people who just bust their ass like that, and they don't make a lot of noise. You know what I mean? They're not bragging about nothing. They just go work and then just do it.
Fury is one of the smartest people. Like he's somebody that you know will be famous, but doesn't know will be famous. And Alex, the best way to explain that is like, you see some people you like, oh, that guy's gonna make it. Mm-hmm. Fury, I feel like, even if you don't, like once you know him and you know his work ethic, I don't know, maybe I'm blown, I don't know. But like his work ethic is too smart. He's fearless, and I think that's what it takes to succeed. And maybe I'm hyping him up too much, but like to go to the, Comedy Store, which is a place a lot of people feel intimidated at.
This is Stephen Fury, by the way, and he's a paid regular there now, but started as a door guy.
I keep forgetting it's like an audience they don't know. Yeah, I need to start filling it in more.
But Stephen Fury was he. I don't know how many years he was when I started, but he was one of the guys that was always, killing at the mics with new stuff, work, and he would just sit there and work on whatever joke he was working on. He was working on it.
He doesn't complain. It's like people complain about bad stage time in LA. But then he'll end up running 3 rooms with a good audience, you know what I mean, and create that for himself. He'll create his own stage time. He'll create his own leverage. He'll find his own way. And, I mean, he's just one of a few people like Conor McSpadden, who's another comic. I'm saying audience, I don't know. 4 people who's listening, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like this was NBC, Netflix, and all the things. I'm trying to get you on a couple platforms that you're not on. So it's HBO, Showtime,
Audible,
HBO, Showtime, Stars.
Yeah.
A couple people hit me up and they want to know if you could do action. I said I don't know what his range is.
No range at all, none.
Yeah,
but
so I'll have to email. I'm not sure this is gonna air.
It's not gonna make it.
The executives from True TV here. We got Learning Channel, TLC.
I don't have enough salacious gossip for this. You had Grant Holton on here
recently, man. I had to bring him back from the dead.
You did? How hard was that to get Grant to do?
It wasn't. I was glad, dude. I like talking to that dude. I enjoyed
missed Grant. Yeah, I was listening to it like, fuck, like Grant should come back just to hang out.
It just takes like a couple seconds for it to be like, I ain't seen him in a minute. So I was like, wait, how do we use it? And then it's back normal.
Yeah. And he's a naturally funny dude,
Yeah.
But I feel like there's smart people. There's a lot of smart people doing smart things and in our scene. And, again, he's one of them. Now looking at it like you're now in that position to where people respect you, man. They value you. They look up to you. And it's the strangest thing. It's just like, it's weird as shit. And now it's even Parker. Like, now you see, like, Parker's been doing it for a while. Uh-huh. Now it's even Parker. People are like, and I remember, like, really? Like, because to me, Parker's still been doing it for 2 months.
Yeah, I started thinking like that. I'm like, wait, you just started, didn't you? I'm like, wait, you can... Yeah, I'll start to... I'm like, wait, no, they've been doing... I'll hear him say that, like, oh, I've been doing 3 years. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I haven't. Oh shit.
And then you look at your own stuff, you're like, damn, I must be doing it for 90. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just that instant. But yeah, no. So I know that kind of jumped over and didn't make any sense. But yeah, man, I just feel like there was a moment in Sacramento. Everybody left. Everybody's trying to be productive and do different things. And
I think that was good though for everyone to see though, like to everyone that saw, oh, these people did something or they were getting good, and then they moved to try to take a shot.
And
at
it really was I'm telling you, it really was the smart ones. I remember JR when he was working at JR the Guzman, when he was working at Laughs Unlimited, he was late getting into Laughs Unlimited. We had already been passed. Diego was passed. I was passed. A lot of people. I think JR was in college or took some time off. And he was the last one to get past at Laughs. But when he went to Laughs, he deliberately like did each of his sets. Like he was doing a 30. He had this time at an hour, but he broke his whole sets down and did different sets each night. And that was just a clever way to show like, oh, hey, I'm ready to feature. So I think he moved up to feature quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always found moves like that interesting. You know what I mean? Like whatever way people can move to get forward. So I felt like, I don't know if that makes sense. But
Yeah, no, because you'll see people do things and then you're like, oh, I didn't even look at it that way. I didn't even think to do it that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
I thought you had to do it this way. I thought you should just be doing your thing that way. It's like, oh wait, no, how else would she know you have more material?
Yeah. I feel like I'm giving too many shout outs, but even Lance, like, you see what he's doing right now with the Sacramento Kings. That's such a good look. You know what I mean? Like,
It's pretty much like the main social media. You know what? Do any other NBA teams have a guy like that? Like a comedian doing it?
No,
and then probably bet you they all will.
Yeah, I bet you you'll start seeing that now.
Because you're not. Why not have a for real funny dude doing your stuff?
Yeah,
and he's ready to take on whatever time. Like he can throw a show, do clean if they have something like a benefit clean event, hour,
yeah,
right?
He can
you
do
know,
something different. Yeah, and that just shows that I think that's what we have here because our scene has such little industry. One, no one respects Sac like that. So you're coming in with this venture being from Sacramento. There is no industry here. So I feel like it forces us to have to be creative to get seen. You know what I mean? It forces you to have to step out and make these bold moves and take these chances or else you're just going to die. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be like a comic from Reno. You know what I mean? Like, that's something
heck,
like
I dropped my
moving.
album. I had an album drop back in '90, like or something. You know?
Yeah, like because when you hear, and no disrespect for any Reno comics that's out there, because I know they dope. But when you hear somebody say I'm from Reno, you're like, oh, okay. Well.
I respect Reno a lot, man.
You have a lot of respect for Reno, yeah. Oh yeah, you got some bookings out there, right? Reno Tahoe.
Oh man, had a great time out there in Reno.
Oh man, but you know what I mean? And I feel like Sac is like that too. So people like Sacramento, they're like they frown their face up. So I feel like that forces you to be. No one's checking for Sacramento.
Yeah, but you don't care about that anymore because now you're like, I know I'm obviously getting selected for stuff. It doesn't matter where you're from.
Yeah, but I found myself having.
Do you have to defend Sac a lot? Like where you're from?
No, I told you I'm a coward. I just say I'm from the Bay.
I'm from
NorCal, yeah.
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I lived right down the street from LeBron James.
I think Cleveland's worse. No, I'm saying, but no, because people. Well, I guess they know Cleveland. But no, I'll say Sacramento now. But yeah, I think people.
Were you saying you were from the Bay? When you?
I'm from NorCal,
North Bay.
Yeah. North Bay.
I spent a lot of time in each, but probably I would say I have my foot more. Yeah, my footprint's more.
I'm like, NorCal Bay area, like San Francisco, Oakland, Sacramento, just in between those.
Oh, it was last though.
Yeah, just between. I'll stop, but this is city, Sacramento. I would,
It's whatever. If you ask, people would say they probably know me from there, but
I'm there, but
my roots
are overhyped. Sacramento, like you could get paid there, and you can get like. A one-nighter, dude, I'll get like $2,000 a night. Sad. You know what I mean? Like, it was worth.
I would stop through. It's worth stopping through.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
wouldn't
No, I claim Sac for sure, man. I'm like, fuck it. Claim Sacramento. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's cooler to claim a city nobody really rocks with.
I would love to see, and then I stand next to you while you're talking to an executive, be like, "Yeah, I was born and raised here in Van Nuys. I was right here in
It's weird. I
Orange
used to
County."
do that. I used to lie about living, because everybody would freak out when you told me you didn't live in L.A. Or you'll tell them, like, where are you from? Like, Sacramento. Like, you came up here all the way from, like, yeah, it's a 5-hour drive. It's like,
Yeah, it's not that.
You can catch a Greyhound at midnight and get here in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, it's a 1-hour flight. Like, so the reaction was so strange, and everybody, like, freaked out. When I told them I didn't live in LA, I thought I would lose opportunities. So if I tell somebody, like, I'm in a meeting, and they're like, oh, do you live in LA? And then you'll be like, no. And they'll be like, you don't take this serious. We're done. We're finished with you. You know what I mean?
Slam their folder.
Yeah, slam their, this meeting's over.
We'll be in touch.
We'll be in touch. So I feel like I had to lie about living in LA. So I would try to make up, like, oh yeah, I live in like Silver Lake, and
That's if this don't work out, I'm gonna be an agent, and so I can just crush people's dreams. That's just to be somehow get my. I want to be the key holder to like industry.
yeah.
You know?
I always thought that was weird. Like, why can't one of us do that?
Backdoor it.
Yeah. Like, why can't one of us take one for the team? Because once you become an agent and manager, you can no longer. Like, my manager used to do stand-up, but she can now no longer.
Was she good?
No, she said she was good. I believe her.
Okay, well,
believe her,
of
but
course
she's
you're going
not-
to say that. We can't get the
No,
goddamn
I
truth
mean,
out of this guy.
I wouldn't, no. But she'll be honest if but she didn't, I don't think she was like, I think if she was like great, she would have still done it. So apparently she had more of a passion for the industry side, but she basically explained it. I was like, well, why don't you just do stand-up now? Like, you pretty much know.
Oh,
She was like, nah, it's a conflict of interest. And so, like, why can't one of us just take one for the team? Like, what if I just became a manager or agent? You know, not like it's that easy.
Oh, you'd be the grimiest. Like, you'd never watch people. You'd never seen anyone sets.
I will be shifty as hell.
Outside smoking
Because I'll
cigarettes.
be too bitter. I'm too much of a comic. You know what I mean? I'll be too fucking bitter. Like,
Yeah, someone's too good. You're like, nah,
Yeah,
sorry,
no.
it's a little too blue for us,
Yeah.
right? It's not where we're actually gonna go in a different direction, but we'll definitely be in touch, man.
We'll
We
be in touch,
I
yeah.
liked what you did on stage today.
that's
I like
just
what you did.
sad. That's just sad.
That's listen. You there's definitely a lane for you, and definitely a bright future for you. I just don't think it's here with
I don't
Shabazz
think it's
Incorporated.
JFL. Yeah, I don't think, not this year.
Is there anyone else you could recommend though?
Yeah.
So I should stay out here and see. I'm in Sacramento for the weekend.
Or just getting people opportunities you know you want. I don't know. Like, it just feels like being an agent or man. I wouldn't hate on nobody, but like, yeah, being a manager or agent.
You see them
just
crushing like a special.
dreams you wanted. Yeah, like, I wanted this. Like,
You're in the back in a suit.
or now you're upset because you looked how easy it could have been for your reps to get you that opportunity. It's like,
Oh,
wait
you
a
just
minute,
this dude only had to just. He's like, oh, you can get in jail. That's easy.
Yeah, all I had to do was send the link.
Dude, we
to
get 6 people automatically to send. All you have to do is send your name.
Yeah, see, that's the finding shit out like that. Like, wait a minute, all these agencies get 6 people to,
Yeah.
and you didn't send me. So yeah, I don't know. I always feel like somebody should take one for the team though, or just be an agent, Robert. Look, that's what. Look, you already have the agent. You look like a CAA agent.
It's like, look, I know you from back in the day, but the law's changed, man. We're here in the office, and we're looking for content and ideas.
No, we're looking for a young face.
We know what you can do. Is there anything else? You don't need to. We're doing this meeting right now. We got all these people around. I've already told them what you can do. Is there anything else that you can maybe bring to?
Just stand up. I have no vibe. That was the worst thing about those meetings.
We're gonna pull up your Instagram in front of everyone.
Oh, that'd be
Just
worse.
to see what's been going
If you
on.
come
Content
to a
wise.
meeting, your Instagram is up on a projector.
Yeah, let's just social media wise. Let's just see what you got going on. We'll pull it up on the projector and.
You see, this is a new account. The last one got deleted.
Okay, it's created in 2008. Okay, this is new.
Well, it's an old account, but I forgot the password.
Oh,
but
so
now
you don't.
I'm reusing it.
Okay, so you haven't. There's another one that's a lot more content and
the
everything
one that
updated.
I deleted that we can't
Yeah.
pull up now?
Oh.
Thousands of followers.
Oh, okay. But we'll get that up. We'll get your information on that.
Oh, you have a way to pull that up?
Yeah, we'll pull that up. We'll get
Well,
that.
I'm sure you won't find it.
No. We'll get that up. Can you pull that up? Yeah. The dummy. Less followers.
What I'm trying to do with this one is that I'm trying to keep my Instagram following more intimate so that my people feel that they're part of the family.
6 followers is intimate. I would say that's intimate.
Very.
Yeah, 6.
It's tribal.
One of them's me, so it's 5.
The tribe with Shabazz. You know what I mean? It's really like, people want to be a part of a close-knit family. People don't want to feel like they're one of thousands and one of a million. So I feel like every week I rotate the 6 followers. So
They're out next week. These 6, a fresh batch comes in. And here's, hey guys, you haven't seen my posts because you haven't been following me.
Exactly.
Here's what's been going on with me.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I recycle them like that, and that way those 6 people, instead of getting drowned, because what I hate the most is when I'm just like, 20,000 notifications when I log in. I'm exhausted. I can barely even scrape the surface. And so many people get ignored that I want people to feel paid attention to.
Right. So what you're doing, I see what you're doing.
Right.
You're cleansing the palate.
I'm cleansing the palate.
Let's get a new taste. Let's sample this. I have a new flavor.
Yeah. So it may look like my social media has a low number because I am lazy and incompetent and unable to promote myself.
I mean, that's what I think we would all agree.
No,
It's
I
just
think we shouldn't agree on that.
Logged in a week ago. You logged in a week ago and you posted a picture of a burger. And
well, that's cool still, right? People still take pictures.
You didn't
of
even
food.
write anything about it. You just posted a picture of a burger.
Because I think people should have the right to. You know what I liked about movies is that they allow you to project what you think the actor is thinking instead of the actor giving you
right.
words.
So you have a script for us.
Well, no, because the thing is, I'm not really writing scripts yet because
Do you have ideas, though?
When you say ideas, what do you mean?
You're not writing movies yet, but there's ideas.
Oh,
you
for
got
sure,
things.
plenty.
Okay.
Plenty. And I'm shooting them now. But yeah, plenty. I definitely have.
Just haven't put pen to paper yet. That's all we're waiting on.
Yeah, no pen to paper yet. I can send you something in by tomorrow though.
What time? What time do you think tomorrow you can get that?
What time works for y'all?
I'd probably 8 in the morning. You think
That's
that would
literally,
work?
dude. No, we're joking, but that's literally how every meeting felt for real. Like it really would be like I had no ideas. Like going in when you first go into these meetings, you think like, oh, I'm just a stand-up. They like my set. I'm killing it. And you get in there and they're like, what the fuck do you have for us? It's really almost like, I mean, come on. What do you have for us?
He said, I did the 7-minute set.
Yeah. That 7 minutes, that wasn't like, that. You can't generate millions off of the 7 minutes I did in Santa Monica.
Run that on a loop.
Yeah. If you run that on a loop and just give me a camera crew and a show and let me wing it.
I'm funny.
Yeah.
I'm good at. It's like, so are you good at interviewing people? I just put camera in front of my face. That's all.
Yeah, just pour millions of dollars into production and put me up and let's go. Yeah,
Let's go,
it's the hardest thing, man.
dude. Were you how nervous were you for the Fallon thing before you went out?
You know what? Okay, for Fallon. Here's what I was nervous about, and this is the genius behind Michael Cox, who's the booker for Fallon. This is the genius. He's been doing it so long and so well that he knows how to make comics feel comfortable before you even get on the set. Because my whole concern, and I talked to him about it, and I was speaking to my manager, is that I don't want to have a set where I'm compromising my funny. Meaning that even if it's a late night set, I still want it to be, I didn't want it to be corny. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Not an accurate representation of what you do.
Yeah, exactly. And so what was great about it was like, and he understands that because he understands that comedians, when you're doing network stuff, you have to be clean. It has to be family friendly. So what he did was before the taping, we went around New York and did the set at different venues. And he was like, I don't want you to do any other material.
Don't riff. Don't just do your set.
Don't riff. Do the 5 minutes you're doing for Fallon. Do that exact set. And I'm like, fuck. Like, let me do a joke up front to warm him up or in back. And I understand the time what he was trying to do. But when I was doing these sets, they were doing well in these clubs in New York. And, you know, New York is an intimidating city because you feel like they're, like, a little tougher. Like, oh, you know.
Were you adjusting it a lot at that point still? Was he making, like, notes?
No, it was finalized by that point.
So
it
you
was
just
like, yeah,
delivering?
this is what's going on air. So seeing it work in these 3 different clubs, I did, like, the New York Comedy Club, the Stand, the Village Underground. And I did a few other mics after that, but that wasn't, you know, with, you know, him. But seeing it do well in these venues, as it is, clean comedy.
Because was that what you were worried about, the clean part too? Like, it's not going to hit?
Yeah,
okay.
like feeling like just clean material will come off as corny and cheesy. Seeing this material work in these clubs in New York late night, you know what I mean, in front of these, you know, drunk people, you know what I mean, like, and they're digging it, they're laughing. I felt good. I was like, if this set can work in a club, if this set can work as is clean, it's good to go. And then they give you a rehearsal before you do it. And this may sound terrible, but I was doing like the set and then like the camera crew. You're just in an empty studio and it's just the guys with the camera and setting up sound and stuff. They were laughing. So at that point, I'm like, well,
You
man,
do the whole set just for them?
just the whole set, yeah. Because he wants you to get comfortable saying it and blocking and stuff. So just that, doing it at the clubs and, you know, doing it in an empty studio and it still be able to get reactions, I'm like, okay, there's no way that this will fail and I'm in an environment that's made for me to succeed. I'm in a packed audience, you know what I mean? Like, there's a dope band, yeah, they're warmed up, they've been laughing all night. There's no way to fail at that point. You know what I mean? If it's going to work in the clubs, if it's going to work here now. So I felt really good about the material going on. And you're having so much fun backstage. Like, there's no way to explain it. Like, you're getting to meet members of the Roots. I remember Fallon came back there to talk to us.
Are the comics back there or the guests?
Yeah, the guests. So I didn't get to meet the Karate Kid, but I got to meet Anthony Mackie briefly.
Ralph Macchio was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get to talk to him much. Not like he was being a dick or nothing. I just didn't get to talk to him. But Anthony Mackie I got to talk to, and it's such a fun, energetic energy backstage that you don't have time to sit there and be in your head and think too much. You go into makeup, you go into wardrobe, you get dressed, you're talking.
Did it fly by?
It flew by, man. I thought I was going to be sitting there because the time was like, you arrive at, you know, I'm exaggerating, but you arrive at like 12 in the afternoon and your set is at 11 p.m. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah, he's just sitting there.
Yeah, for hours, just like bored. And in your head, but it wasn't. It went by so smooth. I felt confident. And it was that sink or swim mentality, that kill or be killed, to where, you know, once those cameras are rolling, once you're out there, there's no turning back. You can't step past that curtain and be like, oh, you know what? I changed my mind. It's like, you're here now.
You guys ready for your next? You just bring up someone else.
Yeah, like our host, that bell's too early.
You bring up Ralph Macchio?
Exactly, yeah. Like, there's, you know, so it's like, you know, there's no turning back. You know what the stakes are. You know this is what you do naturally. You're around. You feel like you're around family. You're around people that want you to win. And it didn't get aired, but before I went up, Fallon did like this really dope speech because he cares about stand up. So where he was just like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, show these comics love, and you know, this is some people's first debut, and he's really putting that extra work in to do that.
That's cool of him.
Yeah.
To do that.
Because if I was in the position, I wouldn't. I'd just be like,
You're
what the
eating
fuck, yeah.
something obnoxious in the corner in the dark.
Eating an apple or some. Well, not an apple, but
It's loud. It's loud.
pasta,
He's got
yeah.
fucking corn nuts. Dude's
Is
got
this
his
motherfucker ready?
He's got his back to me, dude, during my set. Then you
Yeah.
turn around, you're like, good set, man. Good
Yeah,
to see you."
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
this
Then when they
fucking
come
asshole.
out, I'm like,
He
But
said,
yeah.
you know, if Kiry turns around, that means he liked your set.
Exactly, yeah. If he puts his pasta down. Yes, he didn't have to do any of that. I mean, that was time he could have went back, I don't know, to his green room or his trailer or whatever he has. But yeah, he took the time to really kind of be like, yo. So I think him and Michael Cox, that whatever system they got is a really good environment for comics to succeed. So that felt good. So yeah, the Tonight Show, there was no real like nervousness or anything like that. The nervousness came afterwards.
When it's going to air?
Yeah, because you can't see it. I think we kind of talked about that before, where it's like the worst. I don't know if I was talking to you about that or if it was Diego. No, it might have been. I think we were talking about that earlier. It was like the worst thing is for you to have a viewing party.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. Have a viewing party and you're seeing it for the first time while everybody else is seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
That part scared me, yeah. Because I was like, I would want to peek at it. And it's the Tonight Show, so they're not going to accommodate you. You can't be like, oh, hey, can you run that tape back or can I see it? So you're going to see it when everybody else sees it.
And only how you remembered it.
Only how you remembered it, yeah. So you still don't know if your fro was shaped weird or
You kept touching your face.
you kept touching your face, yeah. You was cross-eyed or anything. A button was loose.
You were doing fake industry laugh after your jokes.
Yeah, like just some bullshit. So like that part fucked me up more was the after effect. It was like, damn, I want to see it. Can y'all send me the clip before? That was the more nerve-wracking part because I knew once I saw it, everybody else was seeing it at the same time.
I can't wait until you have a special, then they force you to have a viewing party. And it's just hors d'oeuvre. You walking in, there's a big poster of you.
I won't do it, man. Fuck that. If
You
I'm
got
doing
a
a
tuxedo
special,
like a 007, like that point with the gun. They gave you a fake gun for the promo. And you point
man.
It's like a GoldenEye thing.
if you're doing a special, you can't see it before you failed. I don't know what kind of holding deal I'll be locked into with that shit, but yeah, I would hope that I get to see it first. So yeah, that part was the most nerve-wracking part was afterwards, man. Because you really don't know what you look like. You don't know.
You just dipping into the spinach dip nervously in the back while everyone's watching this thing.
Oh, man. Could you imagine no one's laughing? No, and then you got that one face. It's like your girl, she trying to fake laugh like to make you feel good. You're like, bitch, stop. You're making it worse.
It's bombing in front of the audience and again. So it's double. It's double bombing.
And you know the laugh track was, you know what I mean? Like added in there. Y'all couldn't do that. Hell no. Especially not with my family. They're not going to fake. They're not going to fake laugh at nothing. You know what I mean? So I was worried about that too. I was worried
Your
about
family get roasting you?
Yeah, because they wouldn't give a fuck. They would be like, nah.
Turn this shit off.
What?
Someone walks up.
Goose says, what is that?
They walk up and turn. They had the remote, but they walk up to the TV and turn it off.
They would clown, yeah.
Did they give you shit for it?
No, they was excited, yeah. They were excited because a lot of people. I keep my stand up kind of private from my family. I don't really let them. I'm never the guy like, oh, what do you do? I do stand up. Like I'm never that dude. You know what I mean? I never tell people.
So some of them, was that the first time they saw you?
First time seeing me ever perform, ever do anything, and they were shocked because they were like, we're usually a little bit more shy and introverted when I'm around family. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit more laid back and reserved, and for them to see me on stage with my foot up on the stool, you know what I mean? Like, what's y'all, you know what I mean? Just confident and just like owning shit. They were like, oh damn. Like, this is a whole different you. Like, why can't you be like
this fake ass dude?
Yeah. I got my pinky rings.
You don't never tell no one how you're doing. You're just sitting. You took 2 plates last time. You didn't say hi to nobody. Not
hi to nobody. Yeah, was nervous and sweating, and it's just So for them, it was a shock, and I think they were happy. And it was a celebration. That's what felt good about that. It was a celebration. It felt good. So,
well,
It was on nerves. Yeah, and now it's just all darkness and anxiety and.
Well, I can't wait for the collapse.
Yeah,
When
it's happening. Yeah, it's happening dramatically. The true Hollywood story collapse.
Oh yeah, and then you're like, I used to be on, or I was on Fallon, and the show's long canceled. Like,
Yeah,
who was like Carson?
Who? Yeah,
And,
yeah. Somebody still using.
Let me
somebody
get on
probably still
stage.
using the old. I was on the Jimmy Phillips show.
Like a Johnny Carson credit still. Like they're still using.
Could you still use a Johnny Carson?
I think you could, but that just shows that's someone who's been around for.
Yeah.
Rex Merritt, I brought him up that way because he has been up on. He's been around forever.
Did you say recently?
I said he's been on made 400. I read his bio. I was 400 TV appearances and been on everything. I was like, this guy was even on Carson or whatever. I think. Is that not good?
This next comic, you seen him on TRL. That's what I be thinking, man. I don't know. Fallon to be here for a minute, and then, yeah. I knew it would be a dope credit. I knew it would be a dope. I was surprised how nice it looked. You never know how you'll look on TV, so you never had that fear either of have you ever seen guys that are good live but they're not good on camera? That was another thing that was in my head too. It was like, shit,
Hella stiff or something.
yeah, does your funny translate on camera? So for me, I was even impressed too. I was like, oh shit, I kind of liked the way I looked and felt on camera. So that was good,
Yeah, the laugh track that they added. Yeah,
the laugh track. Yeah, the applause track. Yeah. I had a little remote in my hand. I don't know if you can see it. I just
You
pressed.
control the applause sign.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what that was when you're tapping your.
Exactly. Yeah. Applause,
Anytime he taps his chest, he was tapping the applause button.
Yeah, when I rub my belly, that means laugh.
That's it. Kyrie went out 15 minutes early. When he said that Fallon gave the speech, it was really him going out 15 minutes early. Hey guys, I'm gonna be coming out here in a little bit. Some of you guys may not like the jokes, but we're here to react. You guys.
I was lip singing or lip joking. Yeah.
Oh, you were playing the audio from the recording of the set you did at the cellar.
They had a studio. Yeah.
So he had you run the set like 3
Told
times.
the jokes. Yep.
Take the best of, and then you lip it. Yeah.
Yep. Then you go out
No
there.
mistake. Lipping your own jokes.
Home Alone. Just,
It's off a little bit.
yeah. But they got enough technicians where they made it look smooth. But yeah, man. That shit, it was like, fuck, if you fail now, it felt like,
Have people done that? Have people bombed their late night sets?
Yeah, people hate it. Yeah. I'm not going to say their names, but I'm saying people I'm
going to ask you off this because I want to see.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch that, but I was just like, that's like a, it's like you only get this one shot and it's not everyone's doing so it's not like a normal stand-up show.
Yeah.
It is a little bit different.
Yeah, and the way I feel like now, it's like even with this Comedy Central joint, that felt good because I knew it was. I didn't know how the material would be. I kind of finalized it the last minute. I'm sorry, I know this is going over.
No, I'm just making sure. No, you're good. I'm just making sure my screen will lock so I don't move the mouse.
Yeah. Dave look like he finna kill us. What time is it? 1:39? This is Comedy Circle hours.
You could, finish what you were saying at least.
We getting addressed. You can edit that part out. You don't edit it out, huh?
No, nothing gets edited out. If anything, I'll add in fake stuff. If anything, I'm going to add in fake things that you're saying.
Nazis. But no, even...
So why do you think women shouldn't vote?
I mean, they're just naive and... please edit that out.
That's all I'm hearing. That's it.
Man. But no...
Comedy Central. You were saying you had you didn't know how I was going to land.
It felt good. It felt like... we're doing it and, doing it live. The response I got afterwards, how excited, just the energy around it felt. I felt like it'd be like a really good, like a tape and a good representation of my material, what I've been working on. But I was nervous on that one only because I hadn't finalized my set yet. I knew what jokes I wanted to tell, but I hadn't had it worked out. Where the Tonight Show, I had worked so long on it, getting it back and forth. You know what I mean?
You knew the exact time is.
Knew the exact time. This one I hadn't because there were so many decisions. I was going back and forth
on jokes to put in or like tags and stuff to keep in.
And it was a 7-minute set. And
are they real strict about that too? Like, dude, do not go over. Like,
no, they weren't strict, but it was like some stuff they were saying like would get edited out. So I thought like I didn't expect Home Alone to be in that Comedy Central clip. Home Alone was only there to be because I did on Tonight Show. My Home Alone joke was only supposed to be there to warm up the crowd. You know what I mean?
Was this a normal? This was a normal stand-up show. Did they have like a host and like people comics before you?
Yeah, they had a host. Yeah, they had a host. They
how many people were in there? Because it looks small.
It was.
It looks tight. That's what I'm saying. It looks like
I don't know.
30?
Yeah, and there's people on the side too, which I thought it would be panned differently, but I like the way it did make it look intimate. I'm like, y'all could have added a green screen and made 4 tiers of put me in an auditorium. You know what I mean? Like put me in a green screen at Madison Square Garden.
I see you guys back up there, and then in the fifth row up there up top. We didn't
Give
forget
me a
about
wireless mic. You know what I mean? Like they have a SeaWorld make me sing. But I like the intimate feel of it. I was nervous going in because I didn't have a set. But again, that was one thing I knew. Like after I recorded it, I felt good about it. You know what I mean? Like what I presented, I was like, okay, I like this material. I was just nervous. I didn't know what would make the final cut. And so now I'm saying all this to say, now I'm at the point to where I want to make it and stand up to where I'm in that editing room and I know what's going on. And luckily, I'm working and teaming up with people who know what they're doing, who want to make you look good. Comedy Central wants you to look good. You know what I mean? The Tonight Show wanted me to look good. So they were able to put out the best. But that's where most of my anxiety and stress come from with these projects.
Leaving the judgment into someone else's hands and not knowing if they have your best interest.
Yeah, because they could have been like, we're going to make an ass of you.
Well, too, what you like about yourself is not necessarily what everyone else likes about you.
Somebody else, yeah.
Yeah.
And so now
people love that Home Alone joke and you didn't want to air it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, it ended up being a good choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and you wouldn't have chose that.
No. And you point out something good too. It's like, don't be an idiot like everyone didn't see.
No. That's what I was saying. Yeah. I mean, it's like even if hundreds of thousands of people see the Fallon clip, that's a fraction of the amount of people on the internet, on YouTube, in the US, in California.
Exactly. Yeah.
And all that stuff. So
well, that's cool, man. I don't want to.
Yeah, is there anything else you need to say? Oh, you're doing
Instagram. Follow me at
He's got 4 pages, 4 different Instagrams.
Cricket Lane's Brewery. Have you done
Thursday.
that one? Yeah, you done that one?
I did I did it last month.
How was it?
It was fun, man.
I
Ben
can't
Rice
wait.
runs that room. It's packed. They'll be damn. You got you or Melissa McGillicuddy. You got Anthony K.
Hilarious.
And then Kiry this Thursday. It almost sold out though. He said there was only some few
7 tickets left. So I imagine it's probably sold out now. I got to hit a bin. But yeah, it's gonna be a good show again too. Melissa McGillicuddy. She's a amazing young comic. I love working with her and seeing what she's doing. And then Anthony K is a headliner who I respect, and no one just following after him. It's like that's gonna be a fucking like that. Following that dude in a hot room, like it's just gonna be slaughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that'd be a dope challenge too. Because I think Anthony once he's bringing
the tempo he gets laughs is stupid.
He's like the fucking juggernaut. You know what I mean? It's like the
more
time he gets, he's just gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
The
And I like how
longer he
stuff's
goes.
like super conversational, and then he just gets into it, and then it's just like bam, 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 bam.
You can't follow his jokes with like some generic ass, like, oh, hey.
No, because they're like in a story format, but they're like tight.
People connecting with him, and you come up with listen to this fake story. Yeah,
he'll talk to the crowd real quick or riff and all that.
So that's gonna be a fun show. I'm looking forward to that one. And then I gotta hit up Keith Lowell Johnson. Me and Keith are doing a show in Davis somewhere on the 1st, somewhere UC Davis. I have a flyer for that one to post. And if you follow me on, Instagram at Kiry Shabazz, Is that how
Getting
people
better
do
at
it?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, is that how you-
Hey, how can they reach you, man?
You know, follow me at Kiry Shabazz, you know, on Instagram or, you know, that nigga Kiry so funny on Snapchat.
That's a long name, but yeah, I'll type all that in.
Yeah, you know, all of that, man. Snapchat, Instagram.
This is how we find the team, the movement.
The movement, yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Random Thoughts Podcast. You can get this on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Libsyn, anything pretty much you can get it on. So please make sure you rate, review, subscribe, and share, please, and do all that stuff. Appreciate you guys listening. Actually, we're going to have a part 2 of this podcast because we kept it moving next week, next Tuesday. All right, appreciate you listening, and stay tuned for part 2 with Kiry Shabazz.